and happy 2016 to you. Happy New Year. Now, I want you guys to bear with me. This is not the video I had planned as the first video of the new year, but this collection, the Urban Decay and Gwen Stefani collection with the blush palette, the eyebrow palette, and the lipsticks and lip pencils actually goes live tomorrow, January 12th, on the Urban Decay website. And I wanted to get this video up for you guys, showcasing the products that I was so lucky to get my hands on at the Urban Decay unveiling party in NYC. I was invited to attend, and it was an interesting event. It was a really great event. They really went all out. I really had a great time. I didn't spend long there. I just checked in, grabbed my products. I met up with one of my YouTube friends, DR Brooklyn, who's now going by Vinyl Blush here on YouTube, Cindy, and we actually walked to the subway together. And like I said, I didn't spend very long there because it was a school night. It's a Thursday night. I have work the next day and my train ride is an hour and 15 minutes. So I had to go, okay? But I had a great time and I'm so happy that Urban Decay invited me to that event. And next time I'll be more prepared for such a, you know, a spiffy event. Now let's go ahead and talk about the goodies that they gifted us. They did gift us the entire collection, and this collection is an extension to the eyeshadow palette that Urban Decay released in collaboration with Gwen Stefani a few weeks back, and I did a full review on this with swatches, so I will link that down below so you can check out a full review of the eyeshadow palette. And here is a quick view of it just so you can be reminded of what it looks like. I even did a tutorial with this palette as well. I'll link that as well so you can check it out. But that's the eyeshadow palette, like I said. And they extended it to include a blush palette here with 6 blush shades in here. And we have 8 lipsticks right here, 8 colors. There's also a little brow box included with eyebrow powders and a wax, as well as little tools in the back here. And there are also lip pencils that coordinate with the lip colors. So let's go ahead and jump into the products. As I mentioned, the eyeshadow palette was released weeks ago, and I will leave a link to my review. But this contains 15 eyeshadows, and each of the eyeshadows are 0.04 ounces, and it retails for $58 in case you're interested. So first up in the new collection that I'll mention is the blush palette, which has a similar packaging as the eyeshadow palette, but instead of having the black background and the white, it has a white background with a gold overlay, and the packaging itself, the overall outline of the package is white, which I think is adorable. It is really, really beautiful. The palette retails for $45, and you do get 6 blushes included. And the blushes are 0.09 ounces a piece, which is close to a full-size blush, which is typically 0.1 ounce. So you're getting 6 almost full-size blushes here for the $45, which I think is a decent price point. You can probably find a little bit cheaper on the market, but for a blush palette, that's around the price range that I think most people are comfortable paying. Now the packaging itself is really beautiful. It is reminiscent of the eyeshadow palette. It has a similar design, but the color scheme is a little bit different. On this palette, you have the white background and a gold overlay, and the palette itself is a matte white versus this one, which was a gold, a reflective gold, which holds onto fingerprints. I don't mind too much. I thought this packaging was really beautiful, and this one is even more beautiful for me because I love white packaging. Inside, you still have a full-size mirror. It's not an infinity mirror. It does have like a little ledge here, but it's a good size mirror, and she does have her little saying magics in the makeup right there. Has a little protective film that you just remove to show the full mirror. The mirror itself, if you hold it at a 90-degree angle, it will hold itself upright, but if you tilt it, it's gonna fall back. So just be mindful of that in case you're one of those people that uses the mirrors in palettes to apply your makeup. Just be mindful that it needs to be at a 90-degree angle to really be usable. Inside, you have the blushes against a black background, and the names of the blushes are printed at the top of each blush in a pink font. And I just think this palette packaging is really beautiful. It's sleek, and I love the aesthetic that Gwen decided to go with when designing the packaging of these products. I just really love how they look. Now the blushes themselves do feature the 8-hour Afterglow formula. That is a reformulation of Urban Decay blushes. They released them earlier in 2015 with the new formula and everything. Or was it 2014? I don't remember exactly when they redid the formulation, but that is the formulation of these blushes. And they do say that these are meant for 8 hours of wear. They're extremely blendable, finely milled. Now let's go ahead and jump into the swatches. I'm going to swatch them on my arm using a larger brush than an eyeshadow brush. First shade we have is Cherry, which is described as a light pink satin shade. It's a very pale, kind of Pepto-Bismol blue-toned pink shade. It's very sheer, as you can see on my skin tone, and it can come off a little bit ashy. Then we have the shade Easy, which is described as a deep rose with gold shimmer. And this one is more of a rosy pink shade with definite shimmer particles on it. It does show up, but the shimmer particles are large. Then we have the shade Angel, which is described as a champagne nude shimmer, and as you can see, it's more of a champagne highlight on my skin. Then we have the shade Lo-Fi, which is described as a soft bronze matte, and it pretty much just blends into my skin. It's just a matte caramel shade, followed by the shade Hush, which is described as a medium pink with gold shimmer. It is really just a pinky champagne highlight on my skin. And then we have the last shade OC, which is described as a soft pink with peach shift. And this one is a beautiful shade. It would make a beautiful highlight. But as you can see, all of these shades pretty much show up very sheerly on my skin, and they're pops of highlights rather than being actual blushes on my skin tone. So keep that in mind. If you're darker skin tone, these colors are going to show up as highlights, and even one of them doesn't show up at all. Now looking at the shades in the palette, they're very beautiful subdued pinky shades with some neutral shades tossed in. And the shades are more suited for light to medium light skin tones. And a lot of people are probably going to be like, oh man, why didn't she mix in some shades for deeper skin tones? Now remember that Gwen Stefani is creating a collection of her favorite shades. Shades that she herself would use, and I would expect her to select shades that are suitable for her skin tone and a skin tone that she's most familiar with. Hence these shades that are for light to medium skin tones. Now I wouldn't expect her to really venture into the deeper skin tones and try to do a universal palette, so I am not at all upset at the shade selection. And I just want you guys to be mindful of that. If you're a darker skin tone, if you're my skin tone or deeper, or if you're even slightly lighter than me, these colors are gonna be more highlight shades, and they're gonna be very subtle colors on your skin. I think the shade that shows up the best would be Easy and can be used as a blush. Cherry shows up a little bit on the skin too, but it can come off a little bit ashy because it is such a pale shade. So be mindful of that. The other shades, the other 4 shades actually work out well as highlight shades. And then the Lo-Fi shade, which I consider a contour color or a bronzing shade for lighter skin tones, could actually be used as a very subtle blush for light, like medium skin tone. Lo-Fi actually blends into my skin, so I wouldn't consider it a blush shade for me. Overall, I must say I think the shade selection is nice for light skin tones and light medium skin tones. I like the colors, I just know that they won't work on deeper skin. There are highlights here that would work for darker skin, but I don't think you're gonna buy this palette and use it as a highlight palette. But it's a definite beautiful palette for brides, you know, very subtle shades for everyday wear. And I think they are beautifully done. So I like the palette, I just know that it's not for dark skin, so don't even, if you're dark skin, if you're my skin tone, if you're even a little bit lighter, don't expect to be blown away by these shades at all. Next up we have the brow box, which retails for $30, and inside we have 2 powders which are each 0.04 ounces and a wax which is 0.05 ounces, and we also have 2 miniature angled brushes and a miniature gold tweezer. And the shade that it comes in is Bath Water Blonde. Now, Urban Decay has different shades available in their brow boxes. This is not something that is new to Urban Decay. You can check out the different shades they have, one for brunette, for redheads, various different shades. So check them out in case you're interested in this product, but not in these shades specifically, because this is meant for blonde hair. And it says beach water blonde, and blonde it is. Now, sometimes with blonde products, you can still use them in darker brow hairs and they will still translate. They won't darken your brows, but they will still fill in sparse areas. I tried to use this, but they have a very neutral gray undertone to them, so they're very ashy and they look very ashy on dark brows. So if you're dark haired or if you have dark brows, this is not for you at all. If you have ashy blonde brows or you have blonde hair and you're looking for an ashy brow product, these actually are very nice brow products. And you have problems with finding brow products that have that ashy gray undertone that you need for brow hairs to kind of look very natural. And these actually hit the nail on the head shade wise. And inside you also have the little tools that you can use and a second mirror that you can use for grooming on the go. So it's a good little box to take with you, just in your purse for touch-ups. You never know when you need a brow box, and it's also great for travel. So I think this is a nice product to have. And again, there are different shades available on Urban Decay, not just this one, but if you're interested in the Gwen Stefani one, just keep in mind that it's for blondes with an ashy undertone. Next up, we have the lipsticks, and there are 8 shades available, and these are retailing for $18, and in here you get 0.011 ounce. So you're getting a pretty sizable lipstick. And these are mostly shades of pink and red. Signature Gwen Stefani, that's what I expected, was red tones because she loves to rock a red lip. So the lipstick packaging is golden black with asymmetric stripes. It's reminiscent of the blush palette packaging. This is the box that the blush palette comes in with the gold and black lines. And then this is the box that the eyeshadows come in. So it's along the same theme on the lipstick tubes themselves, but these are black and gold, and they have Urban Decay and Gwen Stefani printed on the tube itself. On the top you have the Urban Decay logo embossed in black. And now the tube is secured by a tab fit, so you have to pull the cap off. This can be a little bit awkward because the bottom of the tube is just held on by a little lip, like a little ledge that you have to pull on to pull it apart. I just find it a little bit awkward, but it's not a big deal at all. That's just me being crazy. You can open up the tube, and inside it's a black bullet. And on the bullet itself, it has an Urban Decay logo printed. And the lipstick bullet itself is a traditional lipstick bullet, and it does have the Urban Decay logo again embossed on the lipstick itself. And I think it's very cute packaging. It's Gwen Stefani, and it flows right in with the aesthetic of the packaging. So let's go ahead and swatch the lipsticks. I'm also gonna swatch them on my lips so you can see them on my skin tone, and you can also get a feel for the different finishes because these have different finishes as well as different shades. So let's get into that right now. The first shade up is Ex-Girlfriend, which is described as a sheer nude rose with pink shimmer. And this one is a very sheer shade. It's a nude shade. It barely shows up on my skin. It actually looks like sheer nude gloss. And it's a nice color, but I feel like this one is a definite skip. Next up, we have the shade Phone Call, which is an exclusive to the Urban Decay website and stores. This is described as a sheer bright pink, and I definitely see that it's a bright fuchsia pink shade, but it is very sheer, so it makes it wearable, and I love this color for the springtime. It's a beautiful color. Then we have one of the shades that I think everyone's gonna love. This shade is Firebird. It's described as a deep fuchsia cream. It's a cream finish, so it has greater pigmentation. It's a beautiful fuchsia shade with a purpley blue undertone or a flash to it. It's like a duochrome lipstick, really gorgeous color. And we have the shade Wonderland, which is described as a dark pink red cream. Again, this one has great pigmentation. It's more of a watermelon red shade, meaning it has some coral and pink undertones. It's a gorgeous. I really love this color, and I think this one's a definite pick for me, a top pick. We have the shade 714, which is described as a bright red mega matte, and this is a new finish for Urban Decay. It's an ultra matte shade. It's just a very vivid retro matte red shade, and it's beautiful. It has a slight tomato red undertone to it, and it's very matte, so it takes some layering to get it to great pigmentation, and it does feel very drying on the lips, so just be mindful of that. And we have the shade Spiderweb, which is described as a satin red cream, and this one is a intense red shade with a bit of a orangey undertone. This one is again a very beautiful shade. It has great pigmentation and a nice cream finish. Then we have the shade Plaid, which is described as a sheer deep berry shade, and it is a sheer finish. It's more of a berry toned red shade. If you are afraid of reds, this is a good one to get because it has that sheer finish, so it's not as intense and in your face, and it's very creamy. It applies nicely, and it has decent pigmentation. And then last up we have the shade Rocksteady, which is described as a deep wine red cream. And this one again is a cream finish with a great pigmentation. It is a deep, more wine red shade. It looks beautiful on darker skin tones, so if you're looking for a nice deep red, this is a beautiful one. And here again is a look at all the colors. Again, they're mostly red shades, so depending on the tone you're going for and the finish, you can choose one from these. Now, as we went through the swatches, you saw that there were different finishes, there are various different colors, and there are a lot of red shades. But what I like is that these shades, even though they're very similar in tone, they're different in finish. Like 714 is one of the new formulas from Urban Decay. This is their ultra matte formula. And it's reminiscent of that retro matte formula from MAC, which is just this ultra matte finish. It's thin, but it's opaque and it's completely matte. It does not have like a full rich pigmentation as some of the other shades, but it does give you that kind of throwback 50s feel of a red lip, and it does have this tomato red undertone. So it's a beautiful red that would suit the majority of skin tones. Ex-Girlfriend is the one that I'm wearing now. This is one of those sheer shades. This one I think is kind of a hit or miss shade. It's not really a shade that shows up that well, so I can do without it. And then Firebird is one of those shades that I think a lot of people are gonna love because it is different. It is an iridescent duochrome kind of fuchsia purpley pink shade. It is really gorgeous. It does look really beautiful on the lips. It has great pigmentation. It's comfortable, it's smooth, it's creamy. I think this is one of those shades that most people will gravitate towards. But my favorite shade, I'll be honest, is Wonderland, which is a watermelon red shade. It has a lot of pink to it, so it's more of that watermelon color, and I love it. It's so beautiful. It's creamy, it has good pigmentation, great color payoff, wears very well. I love this color. But among the other shades, all of them are pretty nice depending on the shade you're going for. They have great pigmentation as well. So Spiderweb, Rocksteady, and Plaid. Great colors as well to choose from. And Phone Call is one of those shades that, it's a beautiful spring shade. It's this bright, it's almost like a watermelon pink, not a watermelon red. So it has that corally shade shift to it, which makes it really beautiful, and it is a more sheer finish, so it doesn't give you that full in your face pink. So I think this makes it a lot wearable based on the color. So the finish of it makes it a lot more wearable given the intense color. So I like all the lip colors in this lineup. Then last up we have the lip pencils, and I thought I had all 6 shades, but there are only 5 here in the collection. And I don't know if you realize, but there are 8 shades of lipstick but only 6 shades of lip pencil. So there are 2 missing, and I don't mind that because the 2 that are missing are shades that you can use another one of the lip pencils for. So the 2 shades that are missing from the lip pencils that are in the lipsticks would be Plaid and Spiderweb, but these are the red shades that would actually work well with the Wonderland or the 714 lip pencil. So you can choose any one of those shades to go with those lipsticks as well, and I thought that was a good choice for them. Instead of having lip pencils that are kind of crossover colors, just keep it as 2 shades and you can just mix and match with the lipstick shades. The lip pencils are priced at $20 each and they contain 0.04 ounces of product. And the pencils are the wooden type that you do have to sharpen. They're not twist ups, so you're gonna lose some product as you sharpen those. But the packaging is really beautiful. Again, it's that black and gold design on the pencil with the Gwen Stefani and the shade name on the bottom of the pencil. And then the end of the pencil shows the lip color of the pencil, which is really handy when you have a large collection and you're just trying to grab for a specific color. You don't have to remove the cap to know what color you're picking out. Overall, I think the lip pencils are beautiful. They are not an ultra matte finish, so you're not gonna get the longest wear out of them, but they do have a beautiful creamy pigmented finish, and they apply beautifully to the lips, and they do accentuate the lip colors beautifully. They do pair and coordinate very well with them. So the lip pencils, I think, while they aren't a must-have, they're cheaper lip pencils on the market. I think if you're looking for a lip color, a lip pencil that is gonna match the lip color exactly and not throw it off, so you're trying to get true to color with the lipsticks, then it's best to pair them with the actual lip pencils that match them exactly. So I think the lip pencils are nice and the lipsticks are beautiful. Now let's jump into the swatches. First up is Ex-Girlfriend, which is described as a nude rose, and it matches with the nude lipstick very well. It's a beautiful nude, but it's not a go-to for me. And this is Phone Call, which is described as a bright pink, and it's an Urban Decay exclusive. It's a little bit sheer, as you can see in the swatch. Then we have the shade 714, which is a classic red, and this pairs well with the bright red lipsticks of the lineup. And here we have Wonderland, which is described as a dark pink red, and this is beautiful again for pinky red shades. And this is Rocksteady, which is described as a blood red. It's a deeper red shade, again great with the red shades in the lineup. And here is a pairing of those lipsticks against their lip liners. Again, you can mix and match with the different lip colors and lip pencils as you see fit. And scene. We have made it through all these products. That was quite a lot of products to get through. Hopefully you made it through this video. I want to say thank you again to Urban Decay for including me in this event and having me preview these products for you guys. This is really a great opportunity to share products and test them out for you guys ahead of time. And I truly think the collection is well done. It's well-rounded. It's a beautiful collection. For the eyeshadow palette, I am not the most, impressed by it. It's a nice palette. It's a very nice palette. The packaging is to die for. It's a very nice palette, but I feel like there are different palettes on the market that may be more up your alley or maybe better for the money. But it's still a nice palette with some standout shades in there and some shades that are so-so. That's why I'm like on the fence about it. The blush palette is also a very nice palette, but if you're light to light medium skin tone. If you're darker skin tone, you're gonna get highlight shades here, which isn't a bad thing if that's what you're going into it knowing and you're willing to accept that. They're still very nice shades, and I like that they declare an 8-hour finish versus like 12 or 16-hour wear, and it's like, really? These say 8-hour wear, and it's a very doable 8-hour wear. I think that is very realistic for their declaration. The lip colors are beautiful. I think there's a shade for everyone here. If you're looking for a signature red lipstick, I think Gwen Stefani did a great job here selecting the shades. The ones I would skip, or the one I would definitely skip, is the Ex-Girlfriend shade, which I think is just a sheer nude lipstick that you can probably get for much cheaper. But some of the standout shades, Firebird is a really beautiful one, Phone Call for me, and Wonderland, which were my 3 favorites. And then the lip pencils, of course, they coordinate with them. If you want an exact match for your lip color, this is the way to go. Beautiful colors again. And then the brow box is kind of for blondes only. So if you aren't an ashy blonde, then you can skip on this guy. But if you're an ashy blonde, I think it's a good product to pick up, especially for travel. So hopefully this video was helpful for you guys. Again, stay tuned for my official first 2016 video, even though this is kind of the first one. But you know why I had to do it, because the collection does release January 12th, which is tomorrow. Hopefully I'll get this video up tonight. If not, you will see this video on the actual release date. So if you're interested in these products, click on the link below I'll leave to the Urban Decay website. I do not know for sure when it will be available on Ulta and Sephora.com, but Urban Decay did say that some of the shades are gonna be exclusive to their lineup. So a couple of the shades that you see here may only be available on the Urban Decay website. So before you hold out and, you know, think, oh my god, I'm gonna wait for Sephora, just be mindful that some of the shades that you're looking for might not be on the Sephora website. So I will leave as much information as I can gather, and as information comes in, I'll tell you what shades that are only available exclusively on the Urban Decay website and what dates you can look for the products at Sephora.com and Ulta.com, and then kind of gauge when they'll be available in store as well. So hopefully this video was helpful in showcasing the products for you guys to see if there's anything that you're interested in personally. And as usual, I'll leave links to my Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook page where you can follow me along. And if you aren't already subscribed, hit the subscribe button. What are you waiting for? And until my next video, which will be very soon, thank you guys so much for your support, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.